we are live here, and welcome back to LAK Sports. And joining me is Jenna Williams. Jenna is scheduled to fight Ashley Dean at RUF 66 on February 7th. So, welcome, Jenna, and thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for reaching out. Glad we can make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how are you, and how are you feeling as you prepare for this fight on February 7th?
I feel good. I mean, I kind of stick to what has worked for me in the past. It's, a lot of training. It's every day. It's multiple times a day. So, keeping a good mindset and just staying in good spirits, I think it really helps get through everything.
Yeah. Well, and I know that you're no stranger to it's training and training others. So how do you balance personal life with camp and just being a personal trainer?
It's definitely a challenge. It can be a give and take. Luckily, I work for Lifetime up in North Scottsdale, and they're
Hmm.
really lenient and accommodating with my schedule. It was something I was upfront with, and they've really respected that, and it's worked well, especially for my fighting.
Hmm. Well, what came first, MMA or the personal training?
The personal training. I went to school actually for architecture. That's what my degree is in. I did that for a few years and then I was like, nope, I got to move. I've been an athlete my whole life. So I got into personal training. And then within that first year, I met Dan Walsh, who got me involved in martial arts and
Hmm.
just training with it. And then he's like, well, you should fight. And I was like, no, I'm not much of a fighter, but I'm very competitive. So I finally did my first one and then we just kept going ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you talked
Yeah.
about always being like athletic. So was there any other sports that you were kind of doing in the past?
Yeah, main sports. I did a lot of them. I would say most in what North American schools offer. But yeah, I did soccer, gymnastics were probably my two like biggest ones. So
Hmm.
I think that like body awareness and that athleticism coming from any sport helps to transfer into something like this. So it was definitely helpful.
Well, and we've seen like even like footballers get into MMA that being also contact sports. So I think it is a really easy kind of an easy transition to do. Now, before when you began your amateur career in the beginning, at least in the beginning here, throughout your amateur career, you kind of had to battle through the COVID-19 and everything.
Mhm.
And now that being about 6, 7 years ago, but I can only imagine though, obviously you got your fights, but I can only imagine like they probably weren't easy to get. What was that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't easy to get. I mean, you
Hmm.
had probably like half of your possible opponents would have been out for one reason or another, and
Yep.
there's already not a lot of us females. So even in today's age right now, it's still kind of hard to find a matchup or even one that makes sense. So yeah, it's a challenge for sure. But I mean, we just kept pushing forward and kept trying to get things set up and we did little by little and had some bumps along the way, but it's all experience and a learning lesson. So yeah, it's we're looking forward to the third pro fight. It'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. And you are preparing. So, as you prepare, you're over at the MMA lab. Lots of great talent. Who's helping
Mhm.
you with this camp specifically?
I've got some of my, I would say more of my rolling and my sparring partners.
Hmm.
Um, I've been leaning on Rose EK, Chance EK, like they're both close to my size, but they're both very talented on the ground and especially stand up. Like they're just awesome partners. I've had a few others as far as sparring that's really helpful. But I mean, the whole team is really all there and we like rotate through a lot of different partners. So, it's this team that's really helped build up my skill set and like my grit and determination to move forward. So it's really a tribute to everyone.
Hmm. Well, and another thing, I mean, you're fighting in Phoenix again. Does that
Mhm.
familiarity with the environment kind of influence your mental preparation?
I think it does because it makes me feel like there's going to be a lot of support. I've always
Hmm.
had a lot of
Yeah.
support throughout all of this, but especially in the fight, when it's time to perform. I feed off of like crowds and energies for sure. And when I have a good support system there, it's just something that helps boost my ability for my performance and I guess probably my overall success.
Yeah, yeah. You talked about you're going to going for the 3-0. This is another step in your pro career. So,
Mhm.
like with the obviously, what's been your growth been like since like your growth, and what are the improvements that you want to show in this upcoming fight?
Um, I mean, without giving things away too much,
Right,
anyways,
right.
I definitely, it's, just to really showcase like everything that I've been working on, which is, I feel like so much, it's hard to like really be
Yeah,
like, there's a main focus because there's so many different martial arts and so many different ways to learn and grow in
yeah,
fighting. It's ever changing. So it's really just trying to be, I don't want to say jack of all trades because I want to be a master in some, or at least most. So it's one of those things that you just got to learn to balance, kind of like my personal training career and then my fighting career. It's life's a lot about balance.
for sure. Well, are you at RUF MMA 66? What are they like? What are you expecting of yourself when you fight Ashley Dean?
Um, I think I will be just pushing forward. I think it's one of those things that I feel like I'm hard to completely stop. I'll keep fighting and going to the very end. There's definitely some things that before I even walk into sparring, I'm like, I need to do this. I want to make sure I do that and this and this and this. So it's like running through a lot of little checkpoints and little minor things that really build up to like that ultimate goal of winning. So
And with Ashley, with her style, can bring certain challenges. Do you have a strategy to kind of deal with that? I understand. I'm not asking for your, not asking for what not to spoil the fight, but do you have
yeah.
like what do you know about your opponent?
Um, I know where she's from. I understand she might have, some good elevation on her side as far as her training if she's been on it. I live here in the valley. There's not much, elevation things that I have to worry about, but it is what I'm used to fighting in. So we'll see how, that plays out. But I've heard, kind of seen that maybe, she's tough. She's going to be scrappy. She will be in there probably just like I will, like kind of fighting to the end of it. So I'm expecting a tough fight, a good fight. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. So guess we'll find out really that night.
Do you feel like that's why it's important for you to really step forward and not let her dictate where the fight's going to go?
Yeah,
Is have the
and
toughness?
I think that that's probably my strong suit is that I feel comfortable getting close to people. I feel
Hmm.
comfortable grappling or anything like that. So yeah, I don't have much of a problem with that if it goes to that sort of, element of the fight.
Hmm. Well, and we're getting closer and closer to fight week. Is there any rituals or routines that help keep you grounded during fight week?
During fight week, I mean, I guess it's just staying on top of my nutrition. It's, keeping mental clarity and like peace. Just trying to be in a good place, even though, your body's kind of going through some turmoil with all the training and the lack of calories and the dieting and stuff like that. But, ultimately, we choose this life. I chose this life. So it's one thing that we also just love to do. And, it's also, in a way, it's fun, it's challenging. So, you can really feel accomplished and proud of yourself when you go through all this stuff. So, yeah, that's something that I think I have. So I'm looking forward to it.
If you had any piece of advice to give to young women looking up to you and looking to get in the same sport as you, what kind of piece of advice would you give them?
Keep going. I mean, it's not going to be easy and quick, at least for most, if your skill set and your ability is just unmatched and undeniable, then you'll probably move up faster. But it's a long road, and there's a lot of elements to it. It's not just about fighting; it's about being entertaining. It's about social media. It's about, there's so many working components that really help you get to probably the ultimate goal of, those top organizations of fighting with. But yeah, it's just managing all of it. So it's what I'm trying to work on myself.
Fair enough. What's one thing fans may not know about you?
What's that?
What's one thing that fans may not know about you?
Mm, dance. Maybe some do. I mean, and maybe you can see it, but I'm kind of obsessive about having a bunch of plants. So that's it's nice being here in Phoenix, especially during this time of year because it's actually amazing for us to be here. But yeah, I like anything like bringing in like the outdoors, indoors. So that's where I've kind of turned my place into a bit of a jungle.
Yeah,
So maybe that's something.
I really see. You got a bit of that green thumb for sure.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I got some. I just want to conclude this with some fun, just some fun here. Get business out of the way and just have fun. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much annoyance is there on fight week? Just based off cutting the weight and the dieting and whatnot.
How much of what?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much annoyance is there on fight week?
Annoyance. I mean, I feel like it's definitely a little bit more time of stress because,
Hmm.
time is ticking. Again, you're kind of malnourished, and I thought we kind of like overhydrated, but then you're going to be about to be dehydrated. So there's a lot to, organize and keep in place. So it's probably just a little bit more stressful, a little bit more like of things to be on top of, but a lot of the work is already done. So, you just again you kind of you make peace with that and you breathe and you still understand like what lies ahead, but you're still proud of like what you've all done. So, yeah, it's just about how you deal with it.
For sure. What's probably been the weirdest thing that's ever happened during fight camp or on fight day? Or have you had anything?
Weirdest. um Nothing that like really comes to mind necessarily. I mean, I've gotten like unexpectedly hurt and stuff, but I wouldn't say that's weird. So, yeah, at least as far as unexpected things, maybe that was it. But otherwise, I don't know. I set a pattern, I set a regimen, and I try to keep to that. So, I don't know. I don't have to deal with too many weird or bad scenarios, I guess. Nothing that comes to mind.
Oh, fair enough. If you could steal one skill from any fighter, what would it be?
Oh, man. I've always thought like anything with like kicking and Muay Thai has always been something I would love to build on my own skill set, but it's always just so like such powerful like knockout shots or like body shots that would like
Mhm.
cripple people. So if anything, I would like to learn how to like kick with maybe a little bit more like speed and power. So gosh, anyone that has like really good kickboxing, man. Obviously, like an Alex Pereira is good. Their family, of course. Goodness, who else has got some really good kicks? Anyone like good kicking Muay Thai stuff, like that skill set would be something I'd like.
So you've talked about in the past about you being always athletic. So do you have any sports or interests outside of the combat sports and your personal training?
Hmm. I mean,
Like,
it's definitely very consuming. I'm trying to think if there's been things that like I've picked up along like time, but again, as you get more and more serious about fighting, it kind of
mhm.
consumes you. But I've definitely like gotten into tennis quite a bit, more so in the past, not too much recently. Any sort of hiking is great. But yeah, I think a lot of my time is consumed by like fighting and what pertains to fighting as far as like lifting and athletic performance. So it all kind of is probably my more consuming activities that I do.
Okay, okay. And just give me some rapid fire ones. And it's just this or that. So, would you rather have burgers or pizza?
Pizza.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Music in the gym or no?
Music.
Fight at 6 a.m. or midnight?
Oh man. Midnight.
Fight with Crocs on or in jeans?
Oh God. Man, I'm not a fan of Crocs, but I could not. They'd have to like be baggy jeans. How about that?
Okay, fair enough. No mouthpiece or no walkout music?
No walkout music.
And lastly, the floor is yours. Any message for the fans, your sponsors, any shout outs that you'd like to do, especially for this upcoming event?
Yeah, I mean, always my team, always my coaches, like they're amazing. They've obviously been such a big influence on where my skill set is currently. Um, Got to thank God, my sponsors. I've got My Fit Foods has always really helped me through pretty much any of my fights. The vagina docs are amazing, like physical therapists, like trainers. They're great. Um, Man, yeah, parents, friends, like it's all. I couldn't have done it without all these people, and every step of the way, just helping me, supporting me, and getting me to where I'm at.
Awesome. Well, Jenna, it was a pleasure having you on here for the first time. I appreciate you again for taking the
Yeah.
time out of your day to do this. And just good luck on February 7th. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much.